Hello, what is up everyone? Welcome back to the stream. Yup, Luca, welcome. Hello, Abo. I'm doing well. Hope you all are doing well as well. So yeah, we're going to be continuing the meta progression work that I started last night. So permanent progression, we're going to be working on the tree screen, I guess, the upgrade tree screen, as well as adding some more meta upgrades or permanent progression items. And we'll be doing a variety of things today, probably be doing a lot of art, probably be doing, well, we're going to be doing some tooltips to actually show what each of these things are. Maybe we'll start on like an icon system for each of these things. So we will see. We will see where the stream takes us. Hello, welcome. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but welcome. JDP, I can call you JDP. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, before we get started, my new C# course for Godot is still on sale for like another day or two. So check out the first link in the description below to pick that up if you're interested. I've also got other courses that you can pick up as well if you're interested in those are in GDScript. And beyond that, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Everything helps. And with that, let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so so I've got 3 upgrades here. I did a little bit of work this morning on some of this stuff, and the 3 upgrades we've got is increased gold drop rate. So it drops an additional 1 to 2 coins whenever gold is dropped. Stamina regen. And runes. So you start with a free random rune. So we did the stamina regen one last night, and these 2 other ones I made this morning. So one thing that's missing from our upgrade screen here is basically we're missing a tooltip. Well, we're missing a lot of things. This screen is very bare bones. So we're missing a lot of things, but I want to start by adding a tooltip, and the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to go to my Gunforge UI. No worries, JDP is fine. I do have to change my name account on YouTube. Yeah. All right, JDP it is. So in here, we've got this very handy info panel container here, which basically does exactly what I want it to do, except there's a bunch of extra stuff in here that we don't want. But I'm going to copy this info panel container and paste it over here. And then we're going to get rid of this. We can keep this. We're going to call this one acquire. We'll make this unique just in case. Delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that, and delete that. Cool. So there's actually a couple of things that we need to do here. We need to put the gold cost somewhere as well. So maybe that would be appropriately placed up here. It could also be placed down below. Yeah, it might be fine down here actually. So let's go ahead and do that. I might copy that from the Gunforge UI as well. Where is my gold label? Here it is. Don't mind me, I'm just lifting stuff. Boom. That looks kind of off-center, but maybe we can fix that. Texture rect, layout, container sizing, shrink center, and then the gold label. Yeah, that looks fine. And then what we can do in here is, let's actually create a new HBox container to contain both of these, like so. And then this HBox container can have a larger theme, or a larger override here to put some more space between those things. Nice, okay, that works. I don't really care about the names of these things, but might as well rename them just because. Okay, we need to set this to ignore in all cases. This should already be on ignore, but I'll just swap those around just to be sure. All right, so we've got our info panel container. Now I'm just gonna call this tooltip container. Sweet. Okay, so we got our tooltip container here. Now this needs to be modified during the process method so that it stays on screen. So this window size here, let's go ahead and just grab all this. Let's put this into the, not into the save data. We're gonna put this into the gun tree, what is it called? Upgrade tree? Yeah, there we go. Public override void process, double delta. Okay, so we need the tooltip container now. Node private control tooltip container. And in here, we're gonna replace all these with tooltip container. And let's just make sure that that's correct. Yeah, we don't need that to be a unique name. We'll call this title label and we'll call this description label. Node private label title label. Node private label description label. What's the difference between the chat that's above your camera and the chat that's appearing when someone sends something in the lower left? Oh, you mean like here? I'm highlighting your comments. So I have a little screen where all your comments are, and I can click on one of your comments to highlight it so that I can show which comment that I'm referring to on screen. I think that's a little bit nicer of an experience for the viewers because sometimes it's unclear which comment I'm responding to. So I'm trying to get into the habit of highlighting the comment that I'm actively responding to, which hopefully will make things a little bit clearer. Also, it just looks nicer. It adds more motion to the stream, you know? Good morning, Fox Shadow. Good to see you again. Hello, Dev Ghost. Good to see you again. Back to the old profile picture. No more white cat, I suppose. I like the syntax of C# more than GDScript. I mean, how you write the code in C#. Yeah, I think C#, there's a certain aesthetic that C# has that's very pretty, I think. One second. Ah, forgot to close my window. We don't want no outside noises coming into the stream. So, that process method is looking good. So basically what we need to do is we need to handle... Let's first grab a reference to the gold label. So we already got the gold label here. So let's go ahead and grab a reference to that. Node private label gold label. So when we hover over a upgrade node, so upgrade item, oops. When we hover over an upgrade item, we need to send a signal. So texture rect.mouse entered plus equals on mouse entered. Texture rect.mouse exited plus equals on mouse exited. Okay, so yeah, so we're gonna have to forward that signal now because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna have to listen to that signal here. So let's go ahead and do this. So signal public delegate void mouse entered event handler. Signal public delegate void mouse exited event handler. Then we're going to emit those signals. Emit signal mouse entered. Let's just copy and paste this. All right. So now in our upgrade screen tree here, we're attaching signals or connecting signals. So this upgrade item dot mouse entered plus equals on upgrade item mouse entered. We'll pass in the upgrade item, I suppose. And we're going to connect to that as well. I'm going to move those classes out. Private void on upgrade item mouse entered. Upgrade item, upgrade item. Okay. Now I guess I could pass along. Oh, mouse entered. Yeah. So I think maybe I could pass along the. Well, all it has is a resource ID. Okay, never mind. So when we get that upgrade item, we're going to have to show the tooltip, but otherwise on upgrade item mouse exited, we're going to hide the tooltip. So let's do tooltip container.visible is equal to false. Okay, let's go ahead and create a method, private void update tooltip. And this tooltip is going to accept a meta upgrade resource. So what we're going to do is we're going to say gold label.text is equal to. We have to handle if the upgrade resource is already acquired as well. So that's going to be fun, but let's do meta upgrade resource dot cost here. Title label dot text is equal to meta upgrade resource dot display name. Description label dot text is equal to meta upgrade resource dot description. Cool. So now when the upgrade item mouse entered, we're going to do var meta upgrade resource is equal to meta upgrade registry dot get meta upgrade by ID upgrade item dot ID dot upgrade ID, I suppose. And then we're going to call update tooltip with that meta upgrade resource. And we, of course, need to set this to visible. And then in the ready method, let's just go ahead and set tooltip container.visible equals false. Is that going to work? Let's find out. C# looks better to you too, but GDScript has some advantages and is much easier for beginners. Yes, yeah, it's true. What is the reason that you use Godot signals over standard C# event? Appearance in editor, is that important? No, I actually don't use signals through the editor at all. Well, being able to look at the node tab and see which signals are available here is nice. But the reason is because I don't think it's wise to use a parallel observer pattern system. I think you should just stick with one, and you're going to be interacting with Godot signals anyway, so you might as well just use that system instead of events. I just think that applying that kind of pattern consistently through the engine API is going to produce fewer errors and weird cases. But that's just my opinion. If C# events work, then might as well use them. Okay, so I need to change this tooltip position, but this is working. So we need a couple of additional things for the tooltip here. Hello, Ariane. What is my time zone? I'm in Eastern. Is it standard time right now or daylight time? Whatever the East Coast time zone is right now in the United States. I can export signals in the code to be visible in Signals tab, right? Yes. If you use the signal attribute, well, in C# or Godot, I guess, or GDScript, I mean, it will show up in this node panel. So if I go to this, you can see that I've got my custom signals here. I don't use these through the editor, but it's just a nice little documentation thing. Okay, so... Right, so we need a couple of additional things on this tooltip label. The next thing that we need probably is like a can't afford label. So let's say cost warning label. So we're going to need a way to get the player gold as well. So not enough gold. Maybe this should be on its own thing. And we'll go to our theme, fonts. Where's the colors? Font color, there we go. Nice. So we'll have that cost warning label there. So we've got our cost warning label. In our update tooltip, we need to change the cost warning label. So cost warning label dot visible is equal to, let's create a separate method in here. Private void can afford upgrade. We'll pass in the meta upgrade resource, I suppose. Now this is the part where it gets tricky. I'm going to create another method in here, private int get gold. Count, I guess. Get gold amount. Something like that. And in here, what we're going to do is we're going to say if this dot is current scene, which means that we're in a test scene. We're just going to return. Let's do this. Let's create a new method, or a new int. Test gold is equal to 100. Return test gold. Otherwise, we're going to return this dot get player dot gold manager dot. No, actually, I should probably come up with a different system for this whole gold thing. Probably needs to be in the save data, actually. So public dictionary status interaction unlocks. I wonder if I should just put gold in here. Public static int gold. Get private set. I'll call it currency amount. Let's call it meta currency amount. It's going to be equal to the gold, but I don't want to be too specific here. Oops, that's not right. Okay, so meta currency amount. So now I need to do this. Public static void add meta currency int amount. Meta currency amount plus equals amount. Public static void remove meta currency int amount. Meta currency amount is equal to mathf dot max. Meta currency amount minus amount 0. Okay. Public static bool has meta currency amount to check. Return meta currency amount is greater than or equal to amount to check. Okay. So instead of doing this here, get rid of that. Cost warning label dot visible is equal to not save data dot has meta currency meta upgrade resource dot cost. Cool, so we don't need any of that anymore. So this is going to need to be added. Yeah, it's going to need to be added to the game, or to the save data when you finish the game. I'm about 50% through your Godot C# course, and I'm really enjoying it. Thank you. Yeah, wow, you're killing it. Rushing through that. Nice, I'm super happy to hear that you are enjoying it. Maybe use increase and decrease. I could. I think the language is clear enough for me personally anyway. Yeah, I think it's fine. Okay, so now in here, let's just make sure that that works. I think I should be able to see if that works pretty easily. Not enough gold is because I don't have enough money. Now I do probably need to show the total amount of money that I have somewhere. Yeah, so I think let's go ahead and test this. So let's, in my ready method, if this dot is current scene, save data dot add meta currency, let's do 50. So now I should be able to afford everything, except these ones have to be viewed as locked, unavailable for purchase, so that needs to be handled as well. So I think what I want to do is I want to, for any meta upgrade resource that is locked, this price container needs to be hidden, and I need to show a new label, locked warning label. Let's just copy these properties here. Paste these there. Should have just duplicated it. So that will be shown, the locked. So let's make this a unique name, locked warning label. All right. Node private label locked warning label. Okay. So the cost warning label, let's do this. Var is locked is equal to save data dot has meta upgrade. So not save data has meta upgrade. Wait. That's not right. Can acquire. Oh, it's coming in through the upgrade item here. Do I have a map? Upgrade item ID to upgrade item. I probably need another map. Actually, no, I don't. I'm getting confused here. I need to go to the tree for this is locked data. So I need to do this. Get node by ID. Right, so here, any dependency satisfied. Node incoming connections. Upgrade items set can acquire. Interesting. I think I want to set that on the node itself, actually. So when this refresh tree is called, I want to set a piece of data on the node. Public bool can acquire. And then I'll do public void update can acquire. And what I'll do is I'll say can acquire is equal to whatever I did here. Incoming connections.any is acquired. So we'll put that in the node itself. And then what we can do is when we call this refresh here, where is that refresh node? Refresh tree. Here we go. So instead of calling this any dependency satisfied, what I can do here is I can do node.update can acquire, and then I can do node.can acquire. So now I've got that data stored on the node, which means that if I want to check if the node is locked, what I can do is I can grab the node somehow, which I believe I can do by doing this. Var node is equal to get or upgrade tree dot get node by ID, meta upgrade resource dot ID. That should go ahead and find the node. Yeah. Should probably do a map here, but I don't need to worry about that yet. So is locked is equal to not node dot can acquire. It's kind of, you know, superfluous, but it's a little bit clearer, I suppose. So let's do not is locked. And then the locked warning label dot visible is equal to is locked. Okay, well, that was a little bit of a journey, but we got there finally. So let's see if this works then. Hello, Rin. Very early morning here, just assembly coding as usual. Nice to see another coding. Yeah, come and hang out, work on your projects with me. It's a nice chill stream. Why is this called locked? That's not, I must not be calling refresh tree. So the tree is being set up here. Oh, you know what? Right, this actually needs to be updated here. So this, I'm going to call node.update can acquire, and then node.can acquire. Now that should work. Hello, Solo Leveling. You're streaming regularly. Nice. Yeah, planning to do this for the foreseeable future. It's fun to hang out with everyone, get some nice work done on the stream, and yeah, it's just nice, I think. All right, so yeah, this is working good. So this one says locked, this one says locked. Now the cost has disappeared, and that's because I need to show my price container now. So let's go ahead and grab a reference to that. Node private control price container. Price container needs to be updated in the tooltip as well. Price container.visible is equal to not is locked. Is it a skill tree? Yes, it is indeed a skill tree for permanent upgrades. Boom. 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 Now, when it is acquired, I need to hide that price control again. So not is locked and not save data dot has meta upgrade resource dot ID. So now if I acquire something, it should why am I getting errors here? Interesting. So now when I acquire something, now it doesn't show the price anymore. So that looks like it's working correctly. So I need to update that tooltip when the meta upgrade item is connected, or when it's acquired, I suppose. So on upgrade item acquired, we got the upgrade item here. And then let's just call this, I suppose. Refresh tree, update tooltip. Copy paste, good old copy paste, never goes wrong. Currently working on my project as well, being a morning routine. Yep, let's get into it. Do a morning routine, all of us. Game jam. So boom. All right, tooltip updates now. Now let me just make sure that if I turn down the amount of gold that I'm giving myself, let's go to 30. I think that won't be enough to get all the upgrades. Boom. Boom. Wait. Did I do my math wrong? 520. Oh, it's because I'm not subtracting the amount. Right. So I need to subtract the amount when I acquire it. So on upgrade item acquired, save data dot remove meta currency meta upgrade resource dot cost. Okay. Boom. Boom. Now, why is that showing not enough gold? Cost warning label not is locked and... Oh. Let's store a variable called has upgrade. There we go. Just needed an extra condition in there. Managed to swing using Godot for a work project. Nice. Compared to other tools, it's fun to use. Awesome. I had a friend that was using Godot for a work project as well. It's a nice little... Godot's very versatile. Not enough gold, but I could still acquire it. Interesting. So the can acquired is not accounting for... Let's see, GUI input on GUI input, handle click, emit signal, signal name acquired. Let's change this to clicked. Whoops, clicked event handler. It's just automatically acquiring it. It's not taking into account the cost. So we'll emit the clicked signal. Then in here, let's do dot clicked on upgrade item clicked. And then in this on upgrade item acquired, we're going to change that to on upgrade item clicked. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab the meta upgrade resource first. If not, save data.has meta currency meta upgrade resource .cost. We're just going to return. And then we can do all the rest of it. We might as well do the save data operations together. Okay. That should work, I think. So now if I click here, click there, not enough gold, I can click as much as I want and that's not going to work. Sweet. Let's make this tooltip follow the mouse instead of being in the left or right. Can I just change this here, mouse position? See if that works. I don't know if that's gonna change anything. Nice. I'm gonna give it a little bit of an offset though. Plus vector 2 dot 1 times, maybe we'll do 16. Give it a little bit of space. $16 might be too much. We'll do 8, like I was originally doing. Let's also do instantiate. I have a cursor lock component here. Let's do a pointer, or no, cursor, yeah. Boom, now we've got, instead of a crosshair, we've got a nice little cursor here. Smuggler, deep breaths. Well, shoot, now the larger padding actually looks better with the different cursor. Okay. Hello, Luan. Really interested in your new course, but not as interested in using Godot with C# though. Do you think it'll be fine to just follow the course but use GDScript? There are a number of students that are using GDScript for the course. I think that the main difficulty is going to be in translating a lot of the hash set operations that we do. Like we use except with and union with for C# hash sets quite a bit. So you may encounter difficulties translating that portion of the course, which is a sizable portion of the course, dealing with all that stuff. But it's not impossible to do, and if you want a challenge, if you want to challenge yourself to do that, then by all means you can absolutely do it. The only thing that's going to be impossible to do with GDScript is using NuGet packages, which there's basically only like 1 or 2 lessons where we pull in a NuGet package and use it, and that's to cover saving and loading data, which you can also accomplish with GDScript, just you have to do it through Godot's native way. So, but yeah, that's about it. So hopefully that helps. I'm not going to say that yes, you absolutely can, or no, you absolutely shouldn't, but you should be aware that there will probably be some difficulties. What if people would like to remove some meta progression effect? Do you take that into account? Or once you bought everything, you were locked in with it? I probably will do something like being able to right-click to remove upgrades. I think that would be reasonable, right? Like you click, oh, you don't want that, you right-click, it can remove the upgrade and refund your money. And I think that would be nice. There's no reason to punish people or lock people into their upgrade system. I mean, at the end of the day, there's going to be however many upgrades, right? And there's going to be a total amount of gold that you need to get all the upgrades. And so, you know, just refunding the gold cost so you can go down a different branch of the tree, I think it's going to be fine. It's not going to change the amount of effort that is required to unlock the whole tree. Okay. So I'm going to commit this. Let's do some icons next. I want to get icons functional before we go too deep into this. So let's do update, or let's do add tooltip to upgrade screen. So icons now. So we got the increased gold drop rate. Now the question is, let's do this. So new file. Let's do 24 times 10. That's just 240. 240 by 240. Okay, let's get a grid showing up. If I can remember how to do that. There we go. View, grid settings. Let's make this 24 by 24. I think that's what the size of this is, right? It's 26 by 28. Okay, well, 24 by 24 will be fine. Actually, maybe I should do... What is the size of this thing? Yeah, 24 by 24 should be all right. So let's save this. In UI, let's do upgrade icons. Okay. Let's open... Do you have a gold icon? Yeah, here's a gold icon. So we could either do just a full-on color like that. Oops. I shouldn't have pasted it in there. I should have pasted it here. Let's go ahead and modify the meta upgrade resource so that I can have a reference to an icon. Export private texture 2D icon texture. Get private set. Build. Oops. Did the wrong accessor. I think only refund some money, like half as you've had some use of the upgrade. That could be an option as well. Make it seem super friendly and reasonable to refund. Secretly keep track of how often the player's refunding. Use that stat to make the game harder behind the scenes. Ooh, that's evil. That's evil. Okay. So, new Atlas texture. Boom. Where's those upgrade icons? Boom. Edit region. Grid snap. 24 by 24. And then what we can do in here is we can go bloop, like that. And then in our upgrade item, we can add, what am I doing? We'll just add a sprite 2D here. Icon sprite. Node private sprite 2D. Icon sprite. Oh, I was like, where am I getting the resource from? It's coming in as an export variable. So I can do icon sprite dot texture is equal to meta or upgrade resource icon texture. All right, let's see if that works. I think it should. Nice. So now I don't think that this, I mean, it should look, I don't know. I still don't really know how I should make the various things look. I do have, in my Gunforge UI, I've got this gold engraved icon. So if I used this instead, it'd be nice if I could see the icons here, but I suppose I could just preview it. Yeah, I don't know. Increased gold drop rate. Yeah, so let's copy this texture here. Yeah, I don't really know what to do for these icons, honestly. I don't know what I should do for the nodes, because like I'm trying to make the nodes look like they're engraved inside of the ingot here, but it's not working out that great. So I need to figure out precisely what to do. Future Trunks, you smart. Thank you. I gotta figure out. Yeah, I gotta figure out what to do about this. First of all, maybe this upgrade node, the lighter version of the upgrade node, should be lighter. Oh, goodness. What happened? Did I do something? Oh, I know what happened. I did my export wrong here. Export layers. I don't want trim. That's what I did wrong. There we go. Back in line. Maybe add shadow below and above the nodes. Well, they're supposed to be engraved, like embossed. Why don't you just use a darker shade of the stone only for it to feel engraved? Well, that's what I'm trying to do. This color needs to change as well. I'm just going to play with these colors a little bit. I don't think that purple works. Man. All right, let's just see what that looks like. Export layers. Trim. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. I wonder if I made those just straight up purple. What happens if I just make those straight up purple? So this can acquire in here. Let me in, let me edit it. Oh, there we go. Something like, well, maybe not like a straight up purple, but I guess I don't really have any good purple colors. Could do something like that. So maybe if I do this, that. No, that's going to throw everything off, isn't it? gonna look terrible. I pay 18 euro for a haircut. I think it's a little bit too much, right? I have no clue. I have no clue if 18. I have no clue. I haven't paid for a haircut in a while. All right, I'm gonna get stuck on this for a long time. I absolutely have no clue what to do with these icons and whatnot. I think I liked the green better. Or like a sort of green color. And then we can use a purple there. The acquired one probably needs to be a little bit different. What happens if I... give it like green shadows? We're gonna be here a while. Hello, Neozoid. Really glad to see you every time I see you online. Thank you. Good to see you as well. What are some project ideas you would recommend for game dev beginners, such as myself? I would recommend... What would I recommend? So project ideas, I mean, you can't go wrong with just a very simple, basic platformer. That's a good thing. That's a good way to get some fundamentals down. Yeah, honestly, maybe just like a simple platformer where you can get collectibles and you can jump and maybe add like a dash ability or something. Another simple one you could do is just like a twin stick shooter that with just like very basic enemy AI where enemies just come in and you have to move around in a top-down fashion. Because that will get you introduced to like bullets and doing directions and trajectories and stuff. Yeah, I think GTA 6, yeah. Honestly, a good piece of advice I usually see here is like find a small video game that you like to play and just like try to recreate the core loop of it. But yeah, I think the best way to get started is just to pick something and try to make it, and try to pick something that doesn't look too difficult and just get the basic mechanics down. Okay, well, these acquisition things are like a little bit awkward, but I think it's fine. Now these icons here, I don't think that I want the icon to look like that. I think I want to make it look like it's stone. This is just going to be very difficult, isn't it? Wonder if I should abandon the idea of making it look engraved. What happens if I just go back to... I mean, I could do something really cheatsy, maybe. Like what I could do is I could do something like this. I could do gold icon. Let's just grab that. Paste it in here. And the cheatsy thing that we're going to do is we're just going to give it like a little bit of a square frame. And we'll make the frame look like it's been engraved or something. So give it like an 18 by 18 frame here. Shoot. Okay. My hair. Ah. All right, let's see what happens. So we'll do, I guess I'll just make a new layer for this. So I said what, 18 by 18? Yeah. Center it there. Cool. And then what we'll do is we will just get a little square built. Perfect. We'll fill that in, I suppose. And then what we can do, remove the corners. Give it a highlight up there. Give it a little bit of shadow here. Do I want to do something like this? Yeah, we could do something cheatsy like that, and then I can add some shadows here. I have no clue how this is going to work. But we're going to do it live. Well, I guess I should have measured that out better beforehand, but the square does look better than the circle, though. I just tried to zoom into the game. Well, that's not helping. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. The square is nicer, actually. Is this the secret? So if I basically take this, oops. If I take that, if I go to my upgrade node now, this is the beauty of Git, is I can be as destructive as I want with my files, knowing that they will always be safe and secure. So maybe if we make these squares, it's just going to be much easier to do, and it's going to be easier to make it look nicer. That's the important part. Is acquired now, so we can add, instead of doing like green or whatever, maybe we could just add like gold borders to this. And we can lighten up the middle. We can add gold borders. Like so. Might work. And then can acquire. Maybe we'll do like green edges here. I don't have very many good green colors. Yeah, this green is just so... That's an ugly green. Alright, maybe I'll do purple instead. Purple looks nicer. Can I get away with doing purple inside as well? Probably not. Just keep it like that. Okay, export. Oh no, wait a minute. I think I did this wrong. Yep, I need to move these up by 2. Because the circle was an odd shape. There we go. Sprite canvas size. 26 by 26. Okay. Export layers. Nice. Now I gotta change this thing. 12 by 12. Doesn't this need to be... Oops. -13 by -13. Oh, wait. I'm on the wrong thing. There we go. And then the upgrade icons, let's remove that. Probably still going to want to add shadows to this. And a little bit of a highlight, I suppose. We'll see what happens. That's 24 by 24. Why does this look off-centered? Maybe it's just off-centered because I made it off-centered? Okay. I have no clue if this is going to work well. Oh, we lost the shadow on that one. Okay, we're going to have to fix that. Planning to do game course in 3D fields? No, I don't really know much about 3D development, so I probably won't do that. Needs an on-hover animation. Yes, I could definitely add that as well. What if you flip the border shades darker on top and light on bottom? I don't think that's how the rest of my engravings are working. I think the dark is always on the bottom. Hello, Vrabo. Glad to see you as well. Yeah. I'm liking the daily streams as well. Ugly green, yep. Have you covered how you like to use Git with Godot on your channel or courses? Could see value in that for some people who don't know how to use Git. I have not. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. Okay, so I think this is looking a little bit better, actually. It looks kind of engraved. Let's try playing with the colors, as one of you, Blair, I believe, suggested. First, I need to change the upgrade node. Is acquired color here. Oops. This color needs to change. Guess we can keep it like that. Export layers, uncheck that, uncheck that, check that. Oops. Okay, yeah, I think I see what you mean. So I think this... Yeah, so I think what I need is, move this up, and then... do something like that. Maybe I should just give it a bordered outline all the way around. It's annoying having to do that every time, but oh well. I think that in this case in particular, this color is just too much. What if I use purple? Probably not going to work. Oops. I just completely closed my browser. No. I lost my chats. Oh well, I can see it now. I typed that a while ago when you were doing circles. Oh, I see, I see. Okay, we got the music back. Goodness. I just close out my whole stream. Okay, what was I trying to do? Scripts, layers. Git has saved me a few times when my PC crashed and so many scenes were corrupted. It's awesome being able to do literally undo the crash. Yeah, Git is exceedingly valuable. The reason I didn't want to cover it in my courses is because I wanted to make my courses still accessible to beginners. Even though all my courses are recommended for like people with programming experience, I didn't want to... There's always a concern about throwing too much at people at once, right? And that's the reason why I also don't show doing art on the streams or in the courses, because it's, number one, I may be able to produce good art and explain what I'm doing, but the students may not be able to do that. And you know, something like Git it makes sense, but it's kind of unintuitive for people that are new to just version control in general. It's hard to wrap your mind around. And so I just don't want to have instances in my courses where students are getting stuck on like something that's only tangentially related, right? Like either art or sound effects or Git. I'd much rather just focus them on a single track of like, here's how to use Godot with scripting to make the result you want, and the art is handled. We're not going to talk about like file management or anything or version control. So there's always a concern there, but that kind of thing is definitely suitable for like a bonus lesson or just an independent video on the channel. Okay, that pink, I think that's looking all right. I think it's looking okay. I'm getting a little bit distracted here, but I'm going to also do this. Change the line art a little bit. I like the squares better. What I don't like, I don't think, is what I did here. So we'll just go ahead and put that back. This cannot acquire, can acquire. So maybe if I change... If I change this cannot acquire to something that's much more obviously like not acquirable. Like I almost wonder if I just give it this kind of an outline. Oh my goodness. I'm kind of curious to see what that looks like. square also fits the arena shape theme too. Yes, I think that's a good point. That's almost there. I mean, I think I could do something extreme. Like I could do this. There's not enough contrast there, though. I don't think that's going to look good. This is me and my limited art skills here, just trying to figure out what looks best. Trial and error. I didn't want to get stuck on this for too long, but here we are. It's fine. It needs to be done anyway. It needs to look good. Yeah, I think I just need a better way to delineate or denote when something is not purchasable. It's looking much nicer. Yeah, I think so. I think so. That might actually be fine. Maybe the icon just needs to be muted somehow. I could do something really cheesy, like don't show the icon until it's unlockable. So I could do, maybe I'll do that. I'm gonna do something super cheesy. Okay. Put that over there. I'll just use a locked icon. It's so simple. Why didn't I think of this before? Look at that. So simple. Now I just got to think about the shading here. How did I do the other? Let's see, the rune icons. I'll just follow the pattern of what I've done over here. Well, we'll see how that looks. Probably not going to look very good, but we'll see. Yeah, so that just needs to be a different color so that we can clearly see the icon. Either that or I just give it this outline. Also, I don't know why the icon seems to be out of position all the time. That's kind of baffling to me. Do you smoke or drink alcohol? That's an interesting question. I drink alcohol on occasion. And smoking, no. No, sir. Let's see. Why is this not centered? I don't understand that. -12, this is... Yeah, it should be centered. I don't understand this unless this is uncentered. No, the icon sprite is good. I guess it just looks kind of awkward. Anyway, let's figure out how to make this look better. Let's turn this into a darker color. That's not gonna look good either. I'm not even gonna finish that line of thought. That doesn't look good at all. Okay, let's see. That looks better. It just needs to be more apparent. It needs to stand out more against that color. Oops, wrong one. The sprite is an odd number of pixels. Yeah, it probably is. That's probably true. How do you learn Sprite and pixel art in general? Can you recommend any sources and courses for that? So YouTube is a great source of these kinds of things. My recommendation has been... Ooh, that actually doesn't look terrible even without the well-defined edges. My recommendation has been to start with a limited color palette, like 2 colors, black and white, do a 1-bit color palette, and then start with a small canvas size like 16 or 32, 16 by 16 or 32 by 32. So you start with 2 colors and you start with a very small canvas size, and then try to make something, whatever you want. Try to draw a frog, try to draw a turtle, try to draw a tree, using those constraints. And what you'll find is that because you only have 2 colors to work with, you don't really have shadows and highlights to worry about. You don't have a million different colors to choose from. You're basically just working with how do you place the pixels in a way that's going to convey the idea that this is a tree or that this is a frog. And that's possible. It's completely doable. There's lots of good artists that do this all the time. So you know it's possible, and you just kind of sit there with that small canvas and that 2 colors, and you just trial and error. See the difference that 1 pixel placement can make in the overall impression of your art, right? You'll be surprised at how different your art can look when you place 1 pixel in a different spot or just remove it entirely. And then once you get good at that, you'll have a good understanding for drawing and form and how to make the things look like what you want them to look like. Then you can start going into bigger color palettes. I still wouldn't recommend just opening the floodgates, but go to like an 8 or 16 color palette. Like ideally that has been predefined for you from a like a palette website, and then try to use those colors to do shading and highlights and all that stuff. Also look up videos on color theory so you understand the relationship between colors. And yeah, I guess that's it. That's my advice. Hello, Pocket Pixie. How are you doing? Yes, Adam C. Eunice is a great resource. There's also Pixel Pete. Pixel Pete is a great YouTube channel as well. He does pixel art critiques, which you can learn a lot from. The way that he's, critiquing things. Okay, so that is looking all right, I think. Maybe I should just add some borders there. Make it a little bit clearer. This texture rect is out of control. Let's see what that looks like. I see you're working on your game. I love your C# tutorials. It's been helpful. Looking forward to purchasing your course on Udemy. Awesome. Thank you. I'm a newcomer to this game engine, so the hardest part I've had is using the API for methods and keywords that will work in GD engine. Yeah. That's understandable. But yeah, a little bit of practice and you'll get the hang of it for sure. Low spec is a lifesaver. Yes, I agree. I basically use a low spec. I'm using a low spec color palette for Gunforged. I'm not at the stage where I'm comfortable enough picking my own colors. So I just use a color palette and stick to it. When should I use a texture rect and when should I use sprites? Texture rects are good. If you're just dealing in a purely UI context, then use the texture rect because they can affect the flow of the control nodes, right? But if you're talking about when to use sprites in a GUI situation, you kind of just have to make a judgment call on that. The reason why you have to make a judgment call is that basically it'd be any time you want to display a visual that doesn't necessarily need to be part of the flow. So the reason I'm using a sprite or a node 2D here for the upgrade item is so that I can have a centered position around the rectangle, which is hard to do with a texture rect. And I'm not really putting these in any sort of flow here. So like I can drag this around and put it anywhere on this screen. This skill tree doesn't really have a flow. There's not, the position of this element is not dependent upon the other control elements. So I made it a node 2D so I can just place it wherever I want. But then I have the texture rect is serving as the background here. And the reason is because I get mouse events for free. So I can listen to GUI input events on this texture rect to handle like when it gets clicked or hovered. And then the icon sprite here, I'm just using a sprite because it's easier. And I don't need this to be a control. So you kind of just have to be aware of what controls give you versus sprites and then just kind of make your best judgment as to which one is more appropriate to use. But those are kind of like my general thoughts, if that's helpful. Does that look better? I don't know if that really looks like a lock. Maybe if I just bring this down a little bit more. Oops. I still have my horizontal mirroring on. Kind of looks like a dumbbell. Maybe it's just because this is too thick. I'm spending way too much time on this. That looks kind of better though. All right, that's probably fine. I'm not going to mess with that too much. Oh yeah, so I need to change that locked icon now. So let's go ahead and let's see. Is acquired texture. Let's see. Let's just make this unique. Make unique. Cool. So where's this? Okay, so this icon sprite here. We're going to change this to gold. But then we do need to get a reference to the lock icon. Export private texture 2D lock icon. Let's build this. I'll just go ahead and copy the sprite texture here, this Atlas texture. Copy. Paste. Oops. Paste it here. Make this unique. Go in here. Edit region. Select that lock icon. Okay, so now we need to show that lock icon. So icon sprite. So now we need to update the icon sprite. So, update texture. Actually, you know what I can do? In this update texture, if is acquired, if not can acquire. So icon sprite.texture equals lock icon. Icon sprite.texture is equal to upgrade resource.icon texture. And put that there as well. That should automatically update everything. So let's see if that works. Alrighty, so I'd select that one. Why is that lock icon still there? That's not right. What? Something's very wrong here. Let's do a new Atlas texture. Atlas. Upgrade icons, edit region. Okay. There we go. Cool. So that kills two birds with one stone. I can show the lock icons, but I'll still show the tooltip so that players can see what's behind the lock screen, or the lock icon lock screen. But when I acquire this, then the icon will become visible. Cool. Yeah, I think that works fine. I found tracing over free sprite sheets is helpful for art. Been doing it with Vampire Survivors course. It's fun seeing it in engine quickly. Yes. Yeah, that's a good piece of advice as well. Changing up the assets a bit for the course. That's cool. Do I need much of a lot of math knowledge for game dev? You do need to know like vector math to some extent, but that's pretty simple. And you can pick that up pretty easily just from doing basic game dev stuff like manipulating positions and directions and whatnot. But you don't need to be a math genius. Basic arithmetic and a little bit of linear algebra, and that will be enough, in my opinion, for making small games anyway. Okay, so I'm going to continue working on all this, but first, I need to go take a quick break. In the meantime, you could check out the links in the description below if you want to support me. Check out my C# Udemy course for Godot. It's still on sale for the next couple days, so make sure you get it at the discounted price. And yeah, give me 2 minutes and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. How's it going? Did everyone enjoy the break? I think for game dev, you only need to know linear algebra from what I've heard. Yep, I think that's right. Excuse me. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. So there's a bunch of things that I still want to do on this stream. Probably go for another 45 minutes or so. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, I need more icons here, but I think I'm going to stop with the visuals here for now. Let's develop some more. Permanent progression ideas. So I also need to make it so that, hold on. I also need to make it so that the currency actually gets added when you finish a run. So let's go ahead and here in my little Kanban board, set up framework for meta progression. That's currently in progress. Let's go ahead and add add gold to meta currency when run is finished. Either death or victory. So I just want to make a note of that. So there was a bunch of ideas that floated around last night about what kinds of meta progression upgrades we can implement. And so I would encourage you, if you have any ideas for meta or permanent upgrades, send those in the chat and we might implement it on this stream. Fortunately, the meta upgrades have been pretty easy to implement so far. What am I doing? Oh, I've got the upgrade. I was like, why am I not able to find what I'm looking for? Here we go. So we've got 3 meta upgrades so far. We've got Banker, which is add 1 to 2 gold coins will be dropped in addition whenever gold is dropped. So additional 1 to 2 gold coins. We've got increased stamina regen. Stamina regen is increased by 10%. And then I've also added one where you can start with each run with a free random rune. Oh, the other thing I want to do is move fire rate to magazine. Add okay, just was making a note of things that I want to do. I bought your course. Thank you, Danielson. Very much appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's going nice so far. Awesome. Good to hear. Be awesome to make a short video with all your workflow. Where do you note ideas, which software you use, and etc. Let me write that down. Let me just write that down real quick. So game dev, workflow, tools, etc. Okay. That's Obsidian. The Obsidian note-taking app with the Obsidian Kanban community plugin. So I will write that down. Obsidian with Obsidian Kanban plugin. So that's in chat if you want to look that up. All right, so to our permanent progression, what else can we do for permanent progression? The thing that I'm struggling with is I have ideas for permanent progression, things that I want to do, but I want to come up with a bunch, like all the permanent progression ideas that I'm coming up with are like very powerful. So obviously I could do this, right? I could do create new resource. We might as well just add this and I'll reorient it later. But let's do a meta upgrade resource. And we're going to do increased health in here. And we're going to call this what are we going to call it? Something like vegetables. Eat your vegetables. Just do something stupid like that. Cost. This, we're going to make it a pretty steep cost, like 100 gold. So we're going to call that one Eat Your Vegetables. And I can go ahead and go to my upgrade tree here. First of all, I have to add this here, public const string. Cool. And then in my meta upgrade, or on my upgrade tree screen, we'll create that. Increased health, upgrade tree, dot add node, increased health, new upgrade node. We're going to make that dependent on increased stamina regen, probably increased. I don't know, let's just do start with rune. Make that dependent on start with rune. Then we duplicate one of these, increased health. There's a lot of manual places I need to update, but I don't really know a better way around that. Okay, and then I can take this increased health and I can move this like over here if I want. And so if I run this, that should connect all those things together. Nice. So I could only get the health if I go to this one and then that one. And then let's go ahead and add that to the player. So I got the health component. So let's do this. If save data dot has meta upgrade ID dot increased health, then what we're going to do is we're going to do health component dot set max health component dot max health plus 1. Now the interesting thing about set max health, where is this being called? So this is doing set max health and heal at the same time. The reason that this is a problem is because if I do set max health and then heal, that's going to show a health indicator at the very beginning, but I don't want that to happen. So I might want to have like a force flag on here. Because whenever the current health changes here, whenever the current health is changed through this property, it does a bunch of calculations and then emits the health changed. But I don't necessarily think I want to do that. So maybe I'll do this. Public void silently set max health, float health, and then I'm going to do this. I'm going to reference the max health property, or the max health member. Set that, and then I'm going to do the same for current health. So the reason I'm doing that is because I bypass those getters and setters, because I don't need to set those. Now, unfortunately, shoot, I might still need to emit that health changed signal. So maybe that's not wise to do that, because it's not gonna be reflected in the UI when that health is added. Actually, I'm gonna do something very hacky. So I'm just gonna force an update here. I'll just do forces health update. So that'll force the update to go through. It's gonna detect that there was no heal. Actually, that may not even work either. Hmm. I'm not going to mess with this. This is heal is a little bit wrong, I think. Previous health is less than, it should be less than current health. But that's going to affect what? Yeah, this is going to affect it here. You know what I'll do? Is heal or unchanged? Maybe I'll just rename that there so that it's a little bit more specific. All right. Anyway, that was a little bit of a tangent, but we'll just force the health update here. So now in here, what I can do is I can call silently set max health. So dot silently set max health to health component dot max health plus 1. So what that's going to do is that's going to set the max health and the current health and then re-up the current health. But what that's going to do is that's going to avoid the heal indicator. So what is it called? I created like a heal component. I actually don't remember where it is. Main? Nope. Base level? Is this what it is? Yeah, player UI. Okay. So in the player UI here, we can change this to not health update dot is heal or unchanged. And then in here, I'm actually going to create that Boolean is heal in that health update. And I'll set this is heal, and then we'll do less than for sure. So is heal or unchanged, I can use that if it's less than or equal. Is heal will be if the previous health was less than the current health. And now I can go into my player UI here, else if health update dot is heal. Okay, that's just going to be a little bit cleaner. That's the only reason I did that. But let's see if this works now. So if I'm able to grab that health and then I go into the next level, I should start with 4. See what happens. Does the skeleton in your PFP have eyeballs or are those holes? That's a good question. I think those are just holes, yeah. Blue highlights on the sides confuse me. Yeah, they're just holes. I know you mentioned yesterday, yeah, the obsidian. Hello, Michael. I do the course at night and I have it at a 1.25x speed. So when I came here in the mornings, I have to adjust to normal speed. Yeah. Many such cases. Do you use game design documents? I do not. I've never found game design documents to be particularly useful. Because they tend to get outdated almost instantly. I find that it's very difficult. Like a game design document would be useful for, oh, I don't have enough money. Game design documents, I think, are primarily useful for just like defining the hook and the theme and the setting and maybe including some concept art, some generalized mechanics. But I think a lot of people have a temptation to sort of try to plan out the entirety of the game in a game design document. And I think that that's not useful. So if you want to just like do a broad strokes, like here's what the game looks and feels like, and here's the hook, then yeah, that certainly can be useful. What I do typically is like, the reason why I start mocking things up in Aseprite every time I do a new project, so I'll show you this again. So this is like a mock-up of the game that I want to make after Gunforged. And I like to bring things into Sprite and just start drawing some art because I feel like the art kind of speaks for itself. Of course, I have like an idea in my head as well, right? But like this, having this alone just inspires so many ideas on how the game will play and how it's going to feel and look. And so I if you watch my game jam videos, I almost always start with like open up just a big canvas in Sprite and just start drawing things. And that kind of serves as my, it's not really a game design document, but that kind of serves as my launching off point for the game. So anyway, do you recommend me to use Godot from Steam? I don't see a reason why you would. I guess for the auto updating it's nice, but you know, I think getting it off of the Godot website is just easier. Do I watch game dev YouTubers? Yes. Yes, I do on occasion. Do you have some favorite YouTubers that you watch? Good morning, working on sprites today. Working on the upgrade skill tree. So the permanent upgrade system. Anyway, we're about to see if the health upgrade works. So if I go into the game, I should have 4 hearts. Boom, look at that. Starting the level with 4 hearts, it worked. Sweet. All right. Any other suggestions for meta upgrades or permanent progression items we can do? Throw your ideas into the chat. I'm going to commit what I've got here. Double dash or longer dash. So increasing the dash distance. That's an interesting one. Let me take a look at how that's working here. Why is this being multiplied by... dash speed modifier? Interesting. So I'm actually... the dash lasts for a certain amount of time. Player dash manager. Wait, what is the roll timer? Oh, it's probably exists on the player itself. Interesting. I'm curious what happens. I'm going to bump this up to 0.3 and see how that feels in the game. That is a very interesting idea. To increase the dash length, basically. So the question is, do I increase the length or do I increase the speed? Probably keep the dash the same amount of time, but then increase the speed. So if I increase the dash speed modifier to 3 instead. Two charges. Well, the thing is you can get more dash charges in the game, but I could definitely add like 1 extra starting charge. That would have to be a more powerful, because I want to put the more powerful upgrades at the edges of the tree. So you have to go quite a way down one path before you can get like a really big buff, you know? I'm actually not really feeling much of a difference there. Goodgis, yeah, Goodgis is... I like his work a lot. What do you suggest for someone that's new at Godot, how to learn it quickly? Like, what specific YouTube videos would you recommend? I don't know of any specific YouTube videos. Maybe GD Quest is a good place to start. GD Quest has a lot of good comprehensive tutorials, so I'd maybe look there. I would also start by reading the docs too. Just read the Godot documentation, or at least the getting started parts of the documentation. I think that would help. How mechanically complex or mechanically in depth did you want the meta upgrades to be? They can be anything. Obviously, they should not. Obviously, they shouldn't be like super game breaking. But I am like, the reason I did a skill tree, the entire reason I'm doing a skill tree is so that I can accommodate really powerful upgrades, but I can lock them behind like several tiers of progression, right? So you might have to spend a total of 500 gold to get to a really powerful upgrade. And then the smaller upgrades, like the minimal ones, like stamina regeneration is increased by 10%. This one is cheap, it's easy to get, and it's not very impactful, right? So all that is to say, I'm open to anything from extremely powerful to just more like minor, weak kind of things. Why is the main character an old man? Because there's not very many old man characters in video games. I thought, well, the real story is that the game, he was originally supposed to be a wizard with a gun, and a game came out called Wizard with a Gun that kind of ruined that. But also I moved away from the wizard theme anyway, but I kept the old man, and I was like, oh, well, there's not many old men main characters in video games, so why not? It would be something that differentiates my game from everything else, right? You can get an upgrade to be younger. Everyone said just read the docs, and honestly, it's great to read because it just implants things in your brain you can do. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. That's the big, yeah, you're not supposed to really like memorize, oh, here's all the APIs I can use from reading the docs. It's mostly just supposed to expose you to where you go to find all the information, like give you an overview of what you can use, what is available. So yeah, exactly what you said. So I don't know if this dash speed upgrade is actually going to be very good. I'm trying to notice a difference, but I can't really. Ooh, that's a big difference. Okay, I think that's fine. So this dash speed modifier here, let's actually make this a private float. If save data.has meta upgrade, okay, so we'll do has meta upgrade ID dot increase dash speed. So whoever suggested, I already forgot, whoever suggested this increased dash speed, congratulations, your idea is making it into the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to say dash speed modifier plus equals 1. Cool. So increase dash speed, now we need to create a resource for that. Create new resource. Increased dash speed. Increases dash speed by 50%. And display name, we're going to call this Juked. Cost, we're going to make this one kind of costly. Let's start it off at a 50 gold cost. Why not? Okay, so now we got to go to the upgrade tree. So let's go to our upgrade tree. Let's duplicate this. increased dash speed. Drop that in there. So what do we got here? This is our increased stamina regen, increased gold drop rate. You know what I might do? I might flip these. I might make the increased gold drop rate the first one you can unlock, because that will just accelerate your ability to make money. No, actually, I'll keep it the way it was. Increased dash speed, increased health, start with rune. So I kind of have like a couple of branches going on here. I've got like increased gold drop rate here. So there could be things related to increased encounter rates here. And then start with rune. This could be related to increased rune. And then we've got like health upgrades, increased dash speed. Let's put this up here. I should come up with a way of setting up the dependencies through the editor. That might be better. Instead of doing it in code here, but that's fine. So what did I do? So this is increased dash speed. So the increased stamina regen is the first one, right? So increased stamina regen, then increased gold. Yep. Start with rune. Yep. Increased dash speed. Upgrade tree.add node. Add node. Increased dash speed. New upgrade node. Increased stamina regen, and then the increased health, instead of being dependent on start with rune, it needs to be dependent upon increased dash speed. Okay, let's just give this a quick gander and see if it works. Eat your vegetables. Nice. Let's give it a whirl. Let's give it a whirl. Dashing, leaving a small trail that causes damage. There are dash modifiers that occur as part of your run. Okay, so I just realized something. This increased dash speed, when that gets added, that needs to be added to the player here. Game events.instance.connect. Game events.signalName.meta upgrade added. Callable.from on meta upgrade added. We'll create a base dash speed modifier. We'll make it more accurate. We'll say times 1.5 because it's a 50% increase. Okay. And then when we call on meta upgrade added, so we'll create this down here. Private void on meta upgrade added string ID. We don't really care about the ID actually. So we'll just reassign this. And this should be reassigned to the same number, so it's idempotent. It shouldn't change if we call that multiple times. So, oops, let's go ahead and run the game and see. Okay, so boom, boom. Yeah, that's definitely working. Okay, because the reason is if you're going to be updating your skills while you're in the hub room, you need to have those immediately reflected in the player sometimes. The max health one, it specifically says when you start a run, you start with more health. So it doesn't need to update in real time, but things that offer like dash speed benefits, those need to update in real time. So add increased dash speed. All right, let's see what other ideas we got. See you in the credits, Michael. Okay. Just fun. Yeah, I mean, that's the point, right? It's like just a little bit of fun. Rate of fire increase could be funny. No idea about balance on that. Yeah, you get plenty of rate of fire increases in the game, though. So I don't know about that, but... How long have you been working on this? For a couple years. If you go back in my channel to my devlogs, you'll find very early Gunforge devlogs. The game was very, very different early on. So you're going to do a Hades Rogue Legacy style meta upgrade where there are strict mechanical improvements. The other style would be like Slay the Spire where you unlock more options. I haven't yet decided on whether I want to also have an unlock of more options. The problem is that I need to have enough content to make that worthwhile. And I don't know how much content Gunforge is going to end with. If there is a lot of content by the end of development, I probably will consider adding upgrades to the tree that unlock more content. Specifically like the elite enemy system. I think that would be like, yeah, something that changes the game. Do you have any tips on optimizing a top-down shooter? I don't. I mean, it depends on what problems you're seeing. Do you want to elaborate with the problems that you're seeing? And I can maybe help. I love the Phantom Gun. Yes, me too. That's one of my favorites. How about a meta upgrade that increases chance to fire 2 bullets at once for the cost of 1? That's a good idea. Trying to think, like, we need some more, like, small upgrades. Let's see, did I miss any upgrade suggestions here? I think it's the enemies. How many enemies do you have on a screen at once? Is it a lot? Let me think. I should have written down a bunch of the suggestions from last night. I forgot to do that. I'm going to call this... Well, never mind. Oh, use the course? Yes, the course is like a very basic approach to enemies. If you have like hundreds of enemies on screen, you probably need to use a different approach to moving them. What that approach looks like, I'm not entirely sure. I wish I could give you some good advice on that, but yeah, I think it would depend on what precisely is using up all the frame time. Yeah, it depends. If you want to support like hundreds and hundreds of enemies, I think what you'd have to do in Godot is you'd have to hook into the rendering and physics servers directly and sort of like bypass the typical Godot rendering pipeline. That's what I've seen people do for bullet hell games in Godot for supporting hundreds of bullets, is you basically have to manage the physics collisions and the drawing yourself by using those rendering and physics servers. But that's very complicated. The benefits of unlocks versus upgrades is that you don't have to worry about balancing, pacing the upgrades. You can tell I'm biased. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. What should we add next? What should we add next? I'm just very wary of adding any upgrades that relate to how the weapons behave or things that would be better accomplished by getting passives in-game, right? I can make stuff related to random encounters. Health globes are an interesting one. We could increase the drop rate of health globes. Where's that being done? So a health globe currently has a weight of 5. So we could do something like no health globes get dropped if you don't have the upgrade. I think that would be terrible though. So I could do something like, so we have an 80, does this add up to, no. So there's a 2 weight of dropping a rune. So it's roughly, let's see, the total weight is 9297. So there's a slightly higher than 2% chance of dropping a rune when an enemy dies. There's a slightly higher than 5% chance of dropping health when an enemy dies. So we could do something like make health drops more common. Yeah, I think I'm trying to make a better enemy. Cool. How difficult is it to add mod support to this game? Just imagine the infinite amount of content that would be possible. Yeah, I have no clue how I would officially support mods. I think it would require exposing some kind of like modding framework, right? Which I think would be fairly difficult. Yeah, I think that would be quite an undertaking to get that working right. Because you'd have to do it in a way that doesn't like expose all of the source code to anyone who wants to mod the game. Steam integration plus mod and DLCs. Yeah, the problem with Steam integration is that a lot of the Steamworks stuff is under NDA, so you're not even allowed to show off like how to use it. Which is why you probably have noticed if you try to go and look for how to get a game on Steam, like there's basically no videos on that. At least last time I checked, there wasn't. Let's make health drops more common. So let's do this. Var health weight is equal to 2. I might have to play around with this. I don't want to completely remove health globes from the game, but I do want there to be an upgrade where it's much easier to sustain your health if you get the upgrade. But I'm gonna have to play around with this because this is kind of a big change. So health weight equals 2. If meta upgrade if save data dot has meta upgrade ID public const string increased let's just call it increased health drop rate. Meta upgrade ID dot increased health drop rate. Then we're going to do health weight plus equals 3. So we're going to set it back to its default 5 after you get the resource by adding 3 to it. Cool. And then let's go ahead and create a resource for that. Create new resource. Meta upgrade resource. Increased health drop rate. Now, I wish I could provide an actual number in here. I'm going to do this. What do we want to call this? I want to do something with like sustainable. Max sustain. I don't know what to call it. I'll just call it sustainable for now. What would this be? 150%, right? So 100% would be to, yeah, so 150%. So that's going to be a massive increase. Might have to make the base drop rate like 3 instead and then add 2 to it. Because then that's what, 66%? But we'll start it with this way first. Increased health drop rate. Okay, so now I need to duplicate this. Increased health globe drop rate. Oh, I didn't add a cost to this, did I? This one is going to be 25 gold. No, it'll be... We'll make this one relatively cheap as well. Okay, where do we want to put this one? Increased health, increased dash speed. Let's do this. Increased health globe drop rate down there. Increased health down there. I'm gonna have to rewire everything again. All right. So now I have to redo all this. Upgrade tree dot add node. Increased health drop rate. Increased health drop rate. Increased health drop rate. New upgrade node. This is dependent upon the stamina, increased stamina regen. And then this increased health is dependent upon the increased... Oops, I did this wrong. Increased health drop rate. Is that going to work? Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Sweet. Obviously, I'm going to have to play test this pretty thoroughly and try to figure out what a good balance is. But yeah, just building things out right now. They have a Godot mod loader plugin that thingy I've heard. The game Dome Keeper uses it, I think. Oh, interesting. You probably have to rework a lot of your game architecture to support that, but that's good to know. So the idea is that the upgrades are design levers that allow you to tweak the difficulty pacing, allowing you to crank up the difficulty and not worry about becoming impossible at lower skills. Yeah, I mean, my upgrade system, I'm trying to design the upgrade system such that you don't strictly need any of the upgrades to build the game. Or to beat the game, rather. Like, I really don't like roguelikes where you can't beat the game until you get a good chunk of your meta progression done. I just can't stand it. It just feels terrible to know that you're not going to win your first, like, 10 runs just because everything's stacked against you. So, my upgrades are mostly going to be... Like, the game should be beatable without getting the upgrades. At least, the way I'm thinking of it is, like, the dungeon level should be beatable without having any upgrades. Now, the other maps might be more difficult, but they're going to be difficult because you're going to go into them with some upgrades. But I think the dungeon level, the first arena that you can play, should 100% be beatable with no upgrades. And then the upgrade should just be like icing on the cake, basically, making it even easier. Hey, you're welcome, Joshua. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Brotato, you unlock different starting builds with weird, unique passives. Yeah, Brotato's fun. Brotato does a good job of that. Hello, the Broken Crow. Welcome. It's going well. You agree with that sentiment? Yeah, I don't... Yeah, that's one of my big annoyances about a lot of roguelike games. Okay, let's go ahead and commit that. Upgrade tree screen. So... Add health globe drop rate meta upgrade. Just died to the Rat King when he was really low. I'm sorry to hear that. Better luck next time. Upgrades should be mostly for fun and to unlock separate playstyles rather than gatekeeping win-lose. Yes, I agree. Obviously, it's different for different styles of games. Like, you know, RPGs, you shouldn't be able to go to the end level zone without getting a bunch of skill tree items, right? But yeah, in roguelike specifically, which is what we're talking about, I don't like that at all. Okay, so obviously I'm kind of like falling behind on the icons that I need to do here. But one thing I want to do is I want to get a lot of this code out of the upgrade tree screen. Like, none of this code really needs to be in here in this UI scene specifically. So I'm going to move some of this stuff out. So I believe if I go to my scripts, data, meta upgrade, let's go ahead and do this. Let's create a new file, meta upgrade tree. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to what am I going to do? Oh, I want to take all these classes down here, yeah. So firstly, public class meta upgrade tree. Namespace game.data.meta upgrade. Okay, we'll get rid of those. Then we'll take these classes and put those in here. Do I need to nest these? Can I do like, I don't know. I'll just keep it there. Cool. And then I'm going to create a public meta upgrade tree constructor. And in the constructor, I'm going to set up the tree like I've done here. So get rid of all that. Paste it in there. Oh, that's unfortunate. Actually, is that unfortunate? No, I need to take this back out. Yeah. So this is just the data structure. I didn't name this constructor correctly. So new meta upgrade tree. Perfect. Cool. So I just basically moved all that logic out of this. And it will construct... Can I just set this to new up here? So I don't need to do it there. And then this is all the UI stuff. So now I've got a nice little contained class that will construct my tree for me. And I guess I could have made this static, but oh well, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I don't think it matters. There will have to be some kind of integration with reading the current save data and initializing these nodes correctly. But I think I can probably do that in here. Actually, I can probably do this right now. Var node is equal to this. Let's make this private. So we'll do a private constructor. We'll make the static method the way to instantiate it with an ID. And then what we can do is we can grab this resource, var upgrade. We're going to grab that by ID, pass that into that node constructor there. And then what we can do is we can say node dot is acquired is equal to save data dot has meta upgrade upgrade.id. and then return node. So we can just initialize that correctly. That's not really going to come into play until later. But just so that I'm getting started on that. So when we initialize the upgrade node, it'll have its state properly set in accordance with what's in the save data. I think that's fine. I should probably make sure this still works and I didn't break anything. In Game Jam, should I put all my art in one big sprite sheet? No, I don't think you need to do that. I don't think that's necessary. Is there a reason why you would think to do that? Okay, this seems to all be working still. Cool. That's looking great. Move meta upgrade tree to class. Just asking. Yeah, no worries. That's yeah, you definitely can. There's some games that pack a lot of their characters into single sprite sheets. I don't know why. I think it's basically based on the tools that you would use. I think there is probably some performance benefit to packing in a lot of sprites into a single sprite sheet as well, because you reduce kind of like the texture memory on the GPU. But with modern systems, it's like it doesn't matter, you know. And a lot of game engines will, I know that Game Maker did this, it will pack things into sprite sheets for you when it builds the game. So you can build things in like an unoptimized manner through the editor, and then when you go to build the game, it optimizes things for you during the build process. Wouldn't be surprised if Godot is doing something similar. Coffee Crow. The Broken Crow. YouTube is very odd sometimes. Yeah, I agree. Cool. All right, well, I'm getting very hungry, so I'm going to stop the stream here and get some lunch. But it was a 2.5-hour stream. Got a lot done. It was a lot of fun. Thank you all for hanging out, and thank you all for your suggestions. Keep an eye out. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I'm streaming again. Maybe later tonight. Maybe, probably not tomorrow morning. I'm busy tomorrow morning, but hit that notification bell so you can be alerted when I'm streaming. And check out the links in the description below. The C# course that I just released is still on sale, so you can get it for a discounted price for the next day or two. And yeah, that's about it. Thanks again, everyone, and I will see you in the next one. All right, bye-bye, everyone.